might know your goal in 2026 is to live your best life. But guess what? That's not going to happen if you keep on like this. Some time ago, I was assisting with a children's class, and like in every class, it's as if there's usually a sect of people that would just usually make the class interesting by disturbing other people. So we had this set in this class, and there was a particular boy that was just, really troublesome. So at some point, I just had to call him by his name, and I told him, "Will you pay attention?" You can guess what happened. Immediately, he faced front, stopped what he was doing, and he started to listen. And that moment just came back to me another time, and I was reflecting on two things that came to mind. One is the fact that we actually don't have to wait till we grow up before we experience our minds being at a different place from where our body is. And the second thing is the fact that everybody can actually pay attention. I didn't have to tell that boy what to do. He knew that he needed to just pay attention. He knew what he needed to do to start to listen. Now, everybody, if we would practice it well, actually know how to pay attention. But because many of us speed through life at a pace that even our attentions cannot keep up with, we find that we are absent-minded or not fully experiencing every moment because we are trying to catch up on this, catch up on that responsibility, keep up with this expectation, and on like that. And we would find that most of the times you have one person physically in the current moment, but emotionally they are in the previous moment, and mentally they are in the next moment that has not even happened yet. So you have one person split into different places at the same time. So you find situations like being in a conversation but not really present because you're not listening and you forget what they've just said. And it can even lead to misunderstanding that the person would think you're not taking them seriously. And it may not be that you actually don't care. It could just be that your mind was not there. Your mind was not there because you had other things that you felt were more urgent. Sometimes it even happens, I think the most of the times, it actually even happens unconsciously. And that is why it requires discipline and consistent practice to actually be present, to call your mind to be where your body is. When we are younger, you may not have any consequence for these things. But as we are growing up, you start to see that these things cannot just slide. You cannot just make a mistake and it goes like that. They are costly. They can cost you relationships. They can cost you good opportunities at work because you missed out on an important information. Well, this happens to everybody. I think particularly young people, we just have this way that we feel that we can catch up with everything at the same time. Because yes, we have the strength of the youth, but there is a way that our body and minds have been designed to be, that if you try to do everything all at once, you find out that you actually will miss out on everything, because you cannot live life in bulk trying to do this at the same time. You can actually just experience one time at a time. So presence is not doing less. Presence is doing what you're meant to be doing fully. You are fully there. You're fully present. You're fully participating. You're fully listening to that person that is speaking to you. You are actively, engaging in the meeting that you're in. I'm just going to share some areas that help us to appreciate our presence more, that help us to see the significance of being present in every moment. The first is the myth that time flies. We say that often, but the truth is, time doesn't fly. It's our attention that actually flies. It's our attention moving from here to there because we are not in every moment. So you can see that maybe in a day, because you were not particularly present in all the things that happened. It will feel like the day went so fast, as if nothing happened that day. And gradually, days begin to blur into weeks, weeks begin to blur into months, and into years. And like that, it feels like life is just going so fast without any meaning. Now, the other thing is that every moment actually has its own demand. Every minute, every hour has something that you should be doing, has something that you should be focusing on. And if you miss that moment, you're not able to fully maximize that time. And you're not even able to get the best out of yourself. And the other thing, or the last thing I'm going to share, is the fact that you see this moving past so many things at the same time. For some people, it's actually triggered by fear. The fear of stillness, the fear that if you take a pause, maybe you're going to miss out on something, or maybe you're not going to be able to keep up with the trend of what is going on in another person's life, and it can go on and on like that. And we are denying ourselves of living the best lives we are supposed to live. And I know your goal in 2026 is to live your best life. But guess what? That's not going to happen if you keep on like this, okay? So sign out of that. Sign out of that lifestyle. Okay, guys. Thank you for watching today's episode. Let me know how this has been helpful to you. And you can just share your thoughts about the episode.